Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite and welcome back to Harvest December. So, in the last part we finished off Boundaries in January, and in this part we're going to be running right into Gifting February. See what this is all about. Gifting February, probably Valentine's Day, but who really knows, right? So, I'm wondering, before I actually start, if we're going to be back to, Masaki as the narrator, or if we're going to be still with Mizuho as the narrator, or if we're going to be with somebody else. I recall the memory of his hands. I had developed a habit of looking at my palms whenever I had the time. They were a little bit dry and worn from all the work I did daily in the kitchen. Okay, so this is Sine, even though I took care to moisturize them often. Accumulation. This is what it was. Doing the same thing every day, little by little, changed something. It couldn't be helped. Once I noticed the changes happened, there was nothing I could do. I thought of I thought of the large hand that had held my own. It hurt a little and it was so warm. I am not doing very well reading right off the bat, am I? And can we have a picture on the top screen, please? One of these days. Anyway, I kept thinking of how it felt at the moment. The memory was fading gradually, washed away by the tides of time. No, I didn't want to forget. I pressed my face against my palms as if to absorb whatever heat was left into my cheek. I took a moment to savor it and gathered my thoughts. I've got to do this. I stood up. The physical memory would fade eventually. I could accept that. But I burst out of my room and ran down the stairs. The first floor of Sine was a paltry eatery, and the other part was my home. I could smell the sweet and tangy aroma of fish being braised in a special sauce. It was almost time to open for the evening. I made my way towards the familiar clinking sounds of beer bottles rattling together. I knew he would be stacking the beer cartons. I ran out of the back door to meet him. Alright, now we got a picture. Sine? Masaki Konno looked my way, carrying a plastic carton of beer in his arms. His breath was white in the cold February air. He had delicate features that looked younger than his years, a pretty face that gained him popularity among the senior girls. He tilted his head inquiringly. I'm in love. Oh, really? Oh, Sine said that. I thought Masaki said that for a moment. He dropped the beer carton he was carrying, his friendly expression still frozen on his face. I could accept the physical memory fading away. But I had decided I would refresh it again and again with the very same hand that when I needed it. The beer bottles crashed by my feet. That was my signal gun. And we're back to having nothing on the top screen. Oh, it's introduction time. Okay. It occurs to me, because this was a problem in Bravely Default Bravely Second, but I hope that the lyrics in this music in the intro aren't going to get this video blocked in North America too. Because, that won't be very fun for me because I'll have to go and, like, re-edit it and stuff. Again, I'm not as interested in losing ad revenue as I am in, like, having the video, like, not available in the region where the majority of my viewers are. But anyway, it took around 10 minutes to clean up the beer bottles I dropped. Oh, so we're speaking as Masaki again. By the time I got back to the front door, the Norin for Sine was up. Alright, like an awning? Oh, it's an open sign, a fancy open sign. It was time to open shop. Alright, Masaki-kun. Sine was sitting by the counter alone. We had no customers yet. What was that sound? Sine's mother, Yumi, asked from the kitchen. I'm sorry it was an accident. Do you mind if Sine and I take a day off from work today? No, I don't, but it's not going to be paid leave. I understand, but I've got more important things to do than making money now. I took my seat beside Sine. Well, you two are welcome to order whatever you want to eat. Yumi looked at me and then at her daughter, who had her eyes downcast, and gave me a nod. She didn't ask any questions. I'm counting on you, young man, she whispered and disappeared to the back. I pulled the menu towards me to mull. I've got to help with the kitchen, Sine finally said. Do you realize what you look like now? Go look in the mirror. It would be easier for her to see for herself. Covered in beer stains or something like that? I don't know. It's not a very E-rated appearance. What's going on? She had turned beet red. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be reading. Sine had turned beet red after her confession and had stayed that way since. She looked like a terrified girl just about to jump off a cliff, but at the same time happy and excited. Between the fear and the excitement, she also looked like she was on the brink of crying. That's like 5 emotions rolled into one. Masaki-kun, You can't work in such a state. I looked away. I felt awkward to keep looking at somebody so obviously embarrassed. Reality is merciless. You can keep saying that. What? Nothing. Let's talk after you calm down a little bit. I flipped through the drinks menu. Aren't you going to add coffee to the menu? We've got coffee-flavored milk if you want that. That sounds gross. I'm sorry, I'm a tea drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker, alright? Leave me alone. It's not the same. Will tea be alright? Yumi-san was obviously eavesdropping on us. She slid 2 cups of steaming green tea before us in perfect timing. That is a cell phone. Who cares? I can wait. Besides, Masaki-kun, you're the only person in this town that would ask for something fancy like coffee. It's not fancy. Ooh, city boy talking. No, I didn't mean to say it that way. I sipped my tea and instantly felt better. Regarding Kohai. Eek! Drink your tea first. I pressed her cup into her hands. I waited till she finished it. Like, why did we switch mid-chapter from Sene narrating to, Masaki narrating? That's weird. Anyway. Phew. Better? Yeah. For a moment, when you made your confession, I thought you were declaring your love to me. Yeah, because that's the last thing that we need. I laughed. The correct sentence was this. I'm in love, comma, with Kohai. We probably have figured that out through the first couple chapters of reading. Just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, but... Were you so secretly happy about that? What? Sine grinned cheekily at me. No comment. Ooh, you're taking your loyalty to Yuki seriously for once. No, I'm not taking my loyalty to Yuki seriously. It's more like I'm taking my safety measures seriously. Are you that afraid of her Naginata, Kiri? Don't make me say that. Whatever happened to that edgy Masaki fearless Konno attitude you had when you first came from Tokyo? Look, I turned this way because of you guys and your evil machinations. Well, looking at your growing popularity, I suppose your meek and obedient side is doing it for the girls too. Somebody did say that the broken-in married man is easier to handle. No, I don't want to hear this manipulative girl talk. I covered my ears. I wanted to shout my frustration at the fact that lately everybody seemed to behave as if Yuki and I were already married. Anyway, what did you want to confess it to me? I thought you would be the person that could give me the most unbiased opinion and advice. I thought you'd wanted some warm and empathetic advice. Do you really think Mizuho and Yuki will be able to give me good advice? You don't mind getting together with Oni-chan? Hallelujah, his feet stink and he thinks about naked women all day, but I hope that's not too much of a problem. Please, take him away. Oh, but please send him home. I need to breathe. Oh, but please send him home whenever it's harvest season and we'll need him to reap the rice. What are you doing waiting around then? Just go and ask him out right now. Oh, hi, Mom. Hey, remember to invite me to the wedding dinner. Just dinner is fine. I want the food, preferably French. Oh, but I won't have enough cash to give you custom... so that's fancy money. Hee. Yeah, they wouldn't be helpful at all. And why the hell did Mom pop up there all of a sudden? What's going on with my brain? I mean, she's your mom, and she's got these... You're the one who called her weird fantasies. So, I don't see why not. Anyway, so I thought you'd be the best person to give me calm outsider's perspective, because I am the outsider. Hey, that's not what I meant, Snake glared at me with a pout. You're just one of us. I meant that I needed your calm eye, sorry. I reminded myself now that I belonged to this land. 2 months ago, Yuki, Kohai, and Mizuho took me in as one of them. And so did Sane. You're forgiven. She puffed out her chest with a nod. She was wearing her casual clothes today, and what I saw was pretty impressive. Oh ho, you just gave me that once over, did you? You can't hide that. I noticed. I wonder what Yuki will say. When did you fall in love with Kohai? I dropped the bomb. Target, Sine, went silent instantly. 2 months ago, something happened that made you cross the line between being friends, didn't it? From being just friends, didn't it? Do I really have to tell you? No, you don't. Yes, you do. This is a visual novel. There are rules. Well, it happened this way. Oh, so you are going to tell me. Remember when we left you and Yuki together at the shrine? Sine ignored my snide remark and kept on talking. It was 2 months ago, but I remembered it like it was yesterday. It just wasn't something you could easily forget. I mean, you almost died, right? I'd imagine that's a bit of a vivid memory. Anyway, Yuki and I were trapped in Tagami Shrine during a blizzard, and we almost froze to death. We were caught in the blizzard too. We were making our way down the mountain. While we were making our way down. I didn't know that. He held my hand. Kohai did that. Yeah, and I didn't feel scared anymore. I wasn't afraid of dying or never seeing any of you again. I just forgot all about that. That's it? Isn't that reason enough? I don't know. Have you ever heard of something called the suspension bridge effect? Isn't that the theory that when two people are in danger, they confuse the feeling of fear and the rapid heartbeats to those excitement and love? Admittedly, I have never heard of this, so you could just be BSing for me, so... And I would never have any idea. Hey, are you trying to say that I'm just imagining my feelings? Hey, don't get mad at me. Isn't this the type of rational... I don't know, they have the same ending syllables. Explanation you wanted to hear from me? No, you were supposed to say something warm and empathetic there. That's not what you said before, I sighed. Alright then, fill me in with more information about the two of you then. After all, I'm still new around here. I hate it when you say stuff like that. But since it's true, I'll just let that slide. I quickly spun around. I could see all the customers that had gathered in the eatery look away awkwardly at the same time. All the noisy people were aching for entertainment and were obviously waiting for the next hot topic for gossip. I pressed my temples, feeling a headache coming on. I have not done a good job reading so far in this video. I should totally just start it over. Except, I don't know, failing to read is funny or something like that. You fell in love with him when he held your hand. No, I've always loved him. She looked so sure of herself. That's not what you said a minute ago. I had to look away. It wasn't easy to stare at somebody that was professing their love with such conviction. I stared at my cup of tea that had gone lukewarm. You didn't tell anyone. I'm pretty sure Mizuho-chan knows. And Yuki? Yuki is a loyal friend, but she's got tunnel vision. Noticed. Before I came to Tagami, Tsune must have been the one in the group that served as the person with the outsider's perspective. She spoke slowly, as I don't, and often was cheeky and said the darndest things, but her observations were usually spot on. You didn't want to threaten the relationship you already had. Yeah, she admitted it easily. It was common to hear of people ending a friendship because one party started getting romantic feelings. Kohai wanted to be her friend, so she continued the relationship that way. God, rather than risk losing him, which was why she was so afraid. But now, you want to take it to the next level. Well, it's actually because of you, Masaki-kun. You gave me hope. Huh? You're dating Yuki, right? Albeit in a different sort of way. Yeah. But did that stop us from being friends? No, nothing changed. So I thought maybe I could do that too. But that may be because I was new here, so it was easy for me to start a new kind of relationship. I knew what I said might hurt her or shake off her confidence, but I also knew that it was something she had to carefully consider carefully before she made a move. You've had pretty tight relationships as friends for such a long time. If you tried to change that, it might break the foundation of trust of the relationship you've built so far entirely. You do know that, right? I pressed again. Yeah, I've been getting that thought too. I've thought that too. I kept quiet and waited for her answer. Tsune had her head down, her forehead pressed into her right hand. Destruction always came from within. The finer a system was made and tuned to perfection, the bigger the disruption would be if a change was made. But I can't forget the feeling of his hands. You willing to risk it? I didn't enjoy playing the devil's advocate for this. Why was I always the unlucky guy who had to be the mean one? I wondered whether I could risk something to lose a friend like Tsune myself. I probably could. I was cold like that. But Tsune probably couldn't stand it. Can you? I asked simply. I'm scared, but I want this, she said in a tiny but firm voice. It was a vow, but the answer to her test of courage. So what do you intend to do? I began asking the more practical questions. That's what I wanted your opinion on. Tsune lifted her head to look at me. She was smiling now with the look of determination on her face. A face of determination on her look. I guess you could derive the same meaning from that, I don't know. I was probably the last person she should ask when it came to romantic ideas. But this time it was different. Look at the calendar. This time the world was on our side. Tsune glanced at the calendar nearby. Of course! I was sure she was looking at the exact same day I was looking at. I'll do what I can to help you. Thank you. We stared at the calendar in silence for a moment. 2 weeks from now. It would be St. Valentine's Day. Yep. Alright, so that's going to end off this chapter. I'm going to end this off here, so I hope you all enjoyed that. Where this is going, my name is Dragonite, and I will see you all later.